of Epiphany moving into Lent. And we observe this feast every year. And so the question becomes, why, right? What significance does the Transfiguration have? Why does it show up here? What does it mean practically for our faith, or how we might understand our path in following Jesus? Hoy nos enfocamos en la fiesta de la Transfiguración, y es algo que observamos cada año, el último domingo de la Epifanía, antes de empezar la Cuaresma. Y la pregunta es entonces, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué está esta escritura aquí, en este lugar, cada año? ¿Qué es el significado? ¿Qué tiene que ver con nuestra fe y nuestro camino con Cristo? Interesting to see that two characters, right? If you notice, two characters that are not from Jesus' time show up in this passage. Moses and Elijah, right? Moses and Elijah have been dead a long time. So for them to show up in this story, it sort of brings up a whole bunch of things, right? Why are they there? Are they ghosts? Are the disciples hallucinating? Have they been smoking out all night? And they're wondering, like, yeah, this is awesome, man. What's going on, right? And so, what's going on in this story, right? Y vamos a revelar la gloria de Dios cuando el pueblo de Dios se libera. Cuando existe la compasión, la justicia, el bienestar para todos en este mundo. First example is, you may have seen the story of a group of youth and adults that were participating in what they call the Sunrise Movement, visiting Senator Dianne Feinstein, a video that now has gone viral, or at least clips of the video, to be fair. But in this, they made a visit to Senator Dianne Feinstein here in California to talk about the urgency and need for action on climate change. And really, if we think about this, I feel like we are not talking enough about climate change in our world, because the science is coming out, friends. If we do live the way that we're continuing to live, right? All things being equal, we continue to consume the way that we're consuming, we continue to use the amount of coal that we're using, all of the data points to the fact that in 12 years, we're going to be fundamentally shifted so much that we will not be able to reverse the trend. And so that means
we're standing up, we're asking for the new Green Deal.
And we're trying to present this letter that we've made to Senator Feinstein.
We are trying to ask you to vote yes on the Green New Deal.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We have our own Green New Deal piece of legislation.
Well, we're trying to promote the Green New Deal.
Well, there are reasons why I can't, because there's no way to pay for it.
Yes, there is.
That's
we have tons of money, and all
you know
for the
what's
people.
interesting about this group is I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway. I don't respond to that. I've gotten elected. I just ran. I was elected by almost 1 million vote plurality. And I know what I'm doing. So, maybe people should listen a little bit.
I hear what you're saying, but we're the people who voted you. You're supposed to listen to us. That's your
How old are you?
job.
How old
I'm
are you?
16. I
Well,
can't
you didn't vote for me.
Well, I'm 24.
It doesn't matter. We're the ones who's going to be
Means
impacted.
something.
It doesn't matter. We're going to be the ones who are impacted.
I understand that. I have 7 grandchildren. I understand it very well.
Senator, the cost of not taking this action is far higher than the cost of what the Green New Deal will be. And there is enormous popularity for this bill around the whole country. And we're asking you to be brave and do this for us and for your grandchildren.
Here's what I do propose. And here is the resolution that I think has a chance to pass. So we'll give each of you a copy. You can take a look at it. And I'm trying to do the best I can, which was to write.
Viral is because something about the way that Dianne Feinstein responded was more of a lecture towards the kids, as opposed to sort of, I think a better engagement that could have taken place. And like I said, the video that is seen on the web is a piece of it. In reading the whole transcript, there was some engagement in fairness to her, but I still think that she was left. She could have done so much more. If you think about kids coming to talk about stuff that's going to affect them in their future, right? Because in 12 years, they're the ones who are going to be the ones who have to deal with this. And, she kind of gave this attitude like, it can't be done, what you're proposing is too idealistic, no one can pay for it. Basically, I've been doing this for 30 years, I know what I'm doing, and by the way, how old are you? Oh, you didn't vote for me, right? And so, sort of this condescending approach overall. When she could have done something like, that's so amazing that you're here advocating for this. How amazing it is that you are teenagers and you already care about civic engagement. And yes, I'm going to do everything that I can. Here are the challenges, right? Here's what I see. I've written legislation before, but let's look at the issues, right? Let's figure out how we can all work on climate change together. So I see the voice of these children. Like when Jesus said, let the children come to me, for theirs is the kingdom. Let's listen to what they have to say, right? And let's fight like hell so that we can create a world that they inherit that is not disastrous. And so I see their engagement and the folks that are part of this movement that are trying to breathe new life into a new sustainable planet. I see that as light. I see that as helping to reveal a piece of God's glory. And when I saw the video, I thought about that Bob Dylan song that said, the times they are a-changing, right? And I don't remember all the lyrics, but it said something about congressmen, right? Heed the call. Don't block the pathway. Right? Get out of the way. Yeah, get out of the way. Cuando el pueblo de Dios se encuentra liberados. And so we, as followers of Christ, are called to identify, how can we be bearers of this light? What can we do as a community? What can I do as one person to help bring a little more of this light into this world? To usher in a new season of freedom and liberation for God's people. How can we continue to break the chains of injustice, of suffering in mind, body, and spirit for ourselves and for others, so that God's love may be seen and known and felt in such a powerful way that we will topple dictatorships, that we will topple injustice, that we will topple misery, that we will topple poverty, that we will topple family separation, and we will fight for unity, peace, wellness, love, compassion, the most beautiful values that we share together as a humanity. And why are they beautiful? Because they come from God. God's glory is revealed when people are really free. And until that happens, then we have yet to see the full extent and the power and the glory and the presence of God on this earth. We've only seen a piece of it, because our people are not yet free. Vamos a llegar a la gloria completa de Dios cuando liberamos y ayudamos a liberar a todo el pueblo humano. Y hasta que eso ocurra, apenas estamos viendo un poco de la gloria de Dios. No hemos terminado. Sí hemos visto mucho, pero hay mucho que hay que hacer. Y por eso nos tenemos que preguntar, ¿qué puedo hacer yo? ¿Qué podemos hacer nosotros? ¿Cómo nos podemos ponernos las pilas y trabajar para lograr estas verdades de Dios? Los valores que son Dios: amor, compasión, bienestar, afección, alegría, gozo. ¿Y cuándo podemos terminar con las injusticias, con la pobreza, con la miseria, con el encarcelamiento, con la detención, con la depresión? ¿Cómo podemos lograr esto? Pues ya Ya les di algunos ejemplos y nosotros somos el próximo ejemplo. I've shared a couple of examples about how we can do this. And all of us are the next example. So be the glory of God. Reveal the love of God. Be the light today. Amen.